Hi everyone, welcome to A Plus Calculus, and I am Vrinda, and this is the series Desmos is God. I'm gonna write it right now. Desmos is God. The reason I say that Desmos is God is because you can solve almost 40% of the total questions on your SAT without touching your pen. I'm not kidding. Okay, because 40% of the questions are from algebra, and all the questions of algebra, almost every question of algebra can be solved using Desmos. Okay, and this is the second part of the series. If you have not watched the first part, you should go and watch it right now. In the first part, I took the questions in which you have just equations, and I showed you how you can solve any equation using Desmos. In this lecture we're going to see how to solve a system of equations. Now I have taken two examples here, example number 1, example number 2. Both of them are system of equations. In the first one, both equations are linear equations. 5x equals to 20, which is a linear equation, and then negative 3x plus 2y equals to negative 7, which is again a linear equation. And in the second example, the first equation is x minus 2 times x plus 4, which is a quadratic equation, and the second one is a linear equation. I really want you to pause this video first and try to solve example number 1 and then see how we can do it on Desmos. It's really important to know how to solve every question manually as well. But I would recommend you solving it on Desmos. But that being said, you should know how to solve every question manually, because you don't know how the question will be framed on the exam. You might not, your Desmos might not be able to solve every question because the question can be twisted in any form. Okay, let's go ahead. Now with system of equations, you just have to do one thing. As we did in equations, you just have to plot both the equations. So 5x equals to 20 is this line, and then we have negative 3x plus 2y equals to negative 7. So these are the graphs of these two equations. Now depending on the question, you can select your answers. Now in the question, they could be asking that if x comma y is the ordered pair which satisfies this system of equations, then what is the value of y? So the ordered pair which satisfies this system is 4 comma 2.5, which is the solution, and well, value of y is 2.5. Or they could ask you if x comma y is the ordered pair that satisfies this system, then what is the value of x plus y? Well, in that case the answer will be 6.5. Or they could ask you what is the value of the x coordinate. In that case the answer will be 4. So let's move to the next example. Next example is in that you have a quadratic equation and a linear equation. So as always, just plot the equations. So the first one is y equals to x minus 2 times x plus 4. So this is the graph of the quadratic, the graph of the parabola. Right now the parabola has two solutions. Let's also plot the line y is equal to 6x minus 12. So the purple colored line is the graph of the second equation, and zoom in to see at which point the parabola and the line are intersecting. See, they are obviously touching, but at which point they are touching you need to zoom in. So the point is 2 comma 0. 2 comma 0 is the solution, and just to be 100% sure, just plug this point in both the equations. So obviously 2 comma 0 will satisfy the first equation because 2 is one of the roots, and put it in the second equation as well. So 6 times 2 minus 12, so that is 12 minus 12, which will be 0. So yes, 2 comma 0 satisfies this system of equations. Now there are some other type of questions in which you don't have to solve the system of equations, but it will be given to you that the system of equations has just one solution, or maybe the graphs of both the equations intersect at just one point, and they will remove one number. For example, they remove this 12, so they'll give you 6x plus b, anything, and they tell you that this system has one solution. Then find the value of b. So instead of this 12, you would be writing b, and when you write b, it doesn't give you the graph of the second equation. Obviously it will not give you any graph if you type y equals to 6x plus b, but it gives you an option to add a slider. So you click on this slider button, and then it gives you a couple of values for b. So you can see a slider, you can adjust the slider, and you can see that as you adjust, as you move the slider, the purple line starts moving from left to right. Now in the question, it's given that the system of equation has one solution. So when it has one solution, that means the parabola and the line, they will intersect at exactly one point, not two, but one point. So you have to adjust the values of b such that your line touches the parabola. Okay, one case is when the line touches the parabola, when it is, you know, just parallel to the x-axis. That is one case. And the other case is like this, when it touches from the sides of the parabola, and that is this case, when the line will touch the parabola through the sides. Now the problem is that in this slider you can only vary the values of b from -10 to 10. That's the problem. So what you can do is, see, obviously the line will touch the parabola when you move it to slightly right. It should go slightly right. See, right now it is -10. Now you enter the values manually. -11, it's touching. Take -12. Now see, at -11 it was, I think it's cutting at 2 points. Yeah, right now it is touching the parabola at 2 points. This point, and 1 point is above this point. But we want to touch it at exactly 1 point. Let's take it 12. Yes, so when we take it 12, it will touch the parabola at exactly 1 point, which is 2 comma 0. So this is another type of question in which they will, you know, remove a constant with a variable, and they will give you the nature of the solutions, and you will have to add a slider and adjust the slider until you get the nature of the solution. And if you're not getting the correct answer, then maybe you'll have to type the values manually. You'll have to guess, not exactly guess, but you'll have to see, should you increase the values or should you decrease the values. And if the answer choices are given, then you can just, you know, manually put all the 4 answer choices and see in which answer choice your required graph is coming out. But the point is, DESMOS is God. Always use DESMOS for solving system of equations.